right, welcome back for another CBSI Hot 10 show. Make sure you go and check out the article over on comicbookinvest.com, where I might put a few extra details and tidbits in that we don't cover here on the show tonight.
Love those tidbits.
Also, make sure you check out all the other content over on the site as well as on the channel. We've got shows dropping basically every day, and make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see this week's hot books, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and we will be right back.
Notable sales.
And our first book, it's a classic.
Hey, you know how it's great? It's in the title.
Great.
Right there in the title.
You don't see this book very often. It's a nice LB Cole, nice grade in 9.4. You haven't seen one of these a 9.4.
It's a high grade in 9.4. A high grade in 9.4.
And I don't believe a 9.4 is sold for quite a long time, about 20 years maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean the next lowest grade down was sold for $1,100, I think, in 2023. This sold for $1,620. Again, it's great LB Cole. It's not one of the ones that's immediately recognizable as, oh, that's one of those famous LB. It's not the Big Bird. It's not the, it's not the Mask.
The two guys hugging underwater.
Yeah. But it is, LB Cole's signature is undeniable by that.
Yeah, right there under the boat.
LB Cole collectors still going strong. There's always a demand.
Plus, obviously, this is cheap for $1,620 when you can just crack it, press it, and send it back in and get a 9.9 on it. So, like, sky's the limit.
You can't get a 9.9 on it.
Yeah. I heard 11s are the thing now.
That is it. It's a cool cover, man. I love I mean, Cole does a great job at all points, but like
it's
also
a great
the coloring
comic.
The coloring is just great. So like,
and I like the off
two dudes hugging underwater.
Especially when blood's got an 8-pack.
Yeah, and I like I like the covers that aren't horribly recognizable as LB Cole stuff because they're still a little bit under the radar. People don't catch it right away that it's that's one of the big ones.
It's not I mean, besides his signature blatantly on the cover, but besides that,
but you hope when those slip through a little bit, there's some more room to grow under those as well.
It really is an impressive grade.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple guys being dudes hugging with some fish.
Dudes,
they got knives.
Holding their breath, having a knife fight underwater.
Wait, can you explain why the air bubbles are coming out of the knives in the armpit?
I don't know why they're coming out of the armpit.
Maybe they're in an aquarium. Who knows?
Maybe that's where they're.
There's a treasure chest. You got the treasure chest. You got the skeleton. You got the boat. It's a whole aquarium setup.
Also, they obviously seem to be adversaries, but they're wearing the same swimsuit. Is also kind of cool.
No, one stripes, one circles. It's the stripes versus circles, dude.
Well, they're very similar. They got the same team colors. Red and yellow.
Leave that
definitely
there.
A fun one. And you know what we always say about filling in that census, hitting one that hasn't sold for a while gives you an idea where everything else falls. So you can better gauge some of those other grades.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, $1,600 is impressive.
Yep.
So and while we're on that, we mentioned this book on the outside looking in last week, Raw. An auction ended for like $450 or something like that, and then this week a 9.6 sells for $1,600 plus, basically $1,700, which I got to imagine is an all-time high for this because a magazine like this doesn't get graded all that often. It doesn't get graded this high at a 9.6.
I think there's.
I don't even know why this is a 9.6. You look at the spine on this thing; it looks beautiful. Like if you zoom in on it, it's just crispy.
I think there was one that sold a long time ago for like $175, but it was a long time ago. Stephen Strain's still cooking,
still chugging along, chugging along,
moving out to magazines. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, but it being a magazine, it wouldn't make the main list anyway. But it's still interesting. It's still notable to pay attention to these things. So with that, let's get to the actual list.
Number 10.
Bamf.
Number 10. Bamfing his way into your hearts is my personal favorite X-Men. Nightcrawler number 1. Beautiful David Cockrum cover. 40 plus sales, high of $10. People are getting hyped after the season 1 finale of X-Men 97, wanting to know what's going to go on with Nightcrawler. What are we going to see next from Nightcrawler? We're going to get the marvelous misadventures of Nightcrawler and his half-sister Rogue. Who knows? But people are here for it, so they are swashbuckling their way into your pocketbooks for you to shell out $10 to get this Nightcrawler.
Yeah, a lot of these are still very
a $1 book that's now $10.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. It's people are excited to look at the book. This also trickles back to that fight scene where he had the 3 swords. He had the 2-hand, and he had the tail. Had one. I think
it was sweet.
This is not the only. This is not his only pirate adventures, but his pirate adventures are some of his best adventures.
But again, this goes back to all these X-Men books popping up that are fun, digging books. They're books you dig for. They're books that are definitely still out there, that are still dirt cheap, that you can find out there.
I was setting up for the con today because we're taping on Thursday, and that was a big talking point of like, even when the people that would kind of be like, oh, what that all these people are going nutty for him, but it's like, dude, what, aren't you happy? And they're like, yeah, actually, it's nice because they're having a good time and they're really excited about it. So it's kind of good to see, you know what I mean? Even if you're
I was gonna say Pirate Nightcrawler is way better than Priest Nightcrawler, because I just,
he's looking to plunder his way into your booty.
Effed up, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, I would prefer my Pirate Nightcrawler.
There was that other story with his dad, which is pretty good when he became a pirate.
Yeah.
Cockrum.
All right, let's move on before we get stuck in a little loop on weird names.
Number 9.
All right, number 9.
The Rise of Apocalypse. We were starting to talk about this on the Wednesday Tax Show, and then we got booed out of the door because of spoilers. I mean, watch the show,
it's
guys.
too late. You better have watched it by now, because
look, we kind of called it a couple weeks ago. We thought that Apocalypse might be the next big bad. We still feel that there is another bad that's going to get affected in there, another storyline they're going to use as usual for season 2. But if you've watched the end of 97, that you know that they're going to go back in time and forward in time because the group split up. You're going to have the Egyptian version, this storyline of Apocalypse,
time.
And then you'll have another version 2 later down the road. Maybe a certain type of we can't say it because you'd say it's the bad word. But clan, I'm just gonna say clan. Certain type of future clan down the road too.
Mine, you could say that. I don't understand what you're so afraid of. But now people either have watched it or they didn't, and they're gonna see these books and I wonder why they're selling.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you this: Rachel Summers playing Mother. I mean, that's who that character is. So like,
yeah, that book is well, not to give away the list because we're only at number 9, but. Some books made it, but some books haven't quite made it yet. But there's
some books that are on their way up.
Some that are just knocking on the door because there's volume.
They're on the outside.
They're on the outside.
But are they looking in?
Yeah.
I think they are looking in.
It'd be nice if somebody did a show about that outside, just to help everybody get a look in on it.
Yeah, they can hang on.
Peeking in that glory hole of comic spec.
Whoa! For the love of God, let's tone it down. Anyways, 50+ sales. Sets are selling for $10, $20.
I come here for hot books, but I stay for glory hole talk.
What'd you say, Pete?
Individual sales of this are still pretty low. It's mostly like a $5 book, by and large, if that.
By the way, this is just kind of like a fun hunter too, right? Like this.
Yeah.
There's not going to be much to this. Whatever. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's fun though. Once again, and actually, this part of the storyline isn't bad. And they did it twice. They did another version where they flip back to that era. Apocalypse stories too. So. I mean, we might get like triple bites at it. It's going to be a long run out. Just remember that, like, don't overpay for all this stuff. And by the way, if you missed it, you'll catch it again because people forget about it. And there's going to be a season 2, and then it'll get hype trained again. So
it's not as if they move slowly through storylines.
No.
Yeah.
But here's also, I mean, you'll have a couple shots at taking IG pics and posting it to get 5 thumbs up. So don't worry about it, guys. You'll get it.
You can get your thumbs up now, and then you can wait and get them later.
Yeah, thumbs now, thumbs later, thumbs all the time. Huh?
I said I get so many thumbs up. I'm just like, it looks like I made it, and it's only like 5. So
that's all you need.
That's all you need.
All you need is one.
Couple more will get us to our next number.
Number 8.
And this one's still hanging around because, as Marco mentioned, one of the other potential big bads to hit season 2 could also be Onslaught. Maybe they bury this and push this off to even further to be a season 3 thing now. Who knows? I mean, the former, I should say, head writer did acknowledge he was heading this way, but he's not in charge anymore. So who knows when they might bring
here's the thing. I think it's quite like you're going to have 2 major storyline arcs like you did in this book. You had one of Extinction at the end, which was a 3-part, and in the middle of it, they did a little bit of a Storm and Forge get naked on an island, right? So the Storm and Forge get naked.
Stuff mixed in with the Genosha.
Getting down is probably gonna be Onslaught because you don't like the whole. Let's be honest about the whole Onslaught story. It kind of sucks. So like you don't need that much. You just give them a little bit, and then
it was just a vehicle to get the Image Boys back.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. So I mean, I still believe that they will have at least an Onslaught arc. I guess if it's 1 or 2 things, that's probably it. And same with I think
this
I
was
just think
higher last week. It was higher on the list last week because of the jump it had. This week, its volumes are still there, but by and large, the prices are still about the same average wise. Well, this is like $20 to $25, but it did hit highs of $35, and that newsstand sale of $325 is also way above the normal. This is like $100 9/8 book.
Can I ask you guys a question about this? Do you think this book would do as good if the words Onslaught wasn't on the cover?
No, because you wouldn't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, it would just be a claw.
It would look like
It would be like, who's
well, he'd still be inside. I mean, it doesn't change the contents of the book.
Yeah.
No, but a lot of these 90s, a lot of books from this era look the same.
Yeah.
A lot of the covers start to blend after a
I mean,
while.
I still saw a lot of people picking up Extinction stuff today. Today they're picking up a lot of Extinction stuff. So, it's going to run for a little bit.
We'll see. But let's get on to lucky number 7.
Number 7.
A newer book.
Yeah, Strange Academy. We got the Blood Hunt, the 1 of 3. We got a new character. This cover seems to be doing the best because Pia, the new character that is introduced, is on the cover. That's not her in the middle there. That's her on the screen left side of the paper there.
Down under there.
But she does show up prominently right in the intro of the book. So you do get to see her in there. And you get a new character. Strange Academy's fun series.
And you get first sketch appearance on a piece of paper of the character that's in the book.
This is just one of those. It's a fun Wednesday Warrior book. Comes out. It's 10 to 15 right out of the gate. Not a ton of sales yet. Who knows the longevity of this character, but it gives you guys something to go look for.
I don't think it hurts to have any of these Strange Academy characters loaded up, especially when things fell back down. They're a little cheap. They might do something with Strange Academy eventually. It's a fun little series and good characters. So we'll see.
Especially with animation hitting.
That's true. That is true. All right, let's see what we got next.
Number 6.
I hope your shop orders a lot because this one takes a bit to get.
We got Venom, Separation Anxiety, 1 in 200. This book, you're probably thinking, why do I care about this Venom? And why is it a 1 in 200? Well, you get your first appearance of the Purple Man, who has the ability to add symbiotes to his person. Basically, he's able to take pieces of symbiotes with his touch. That's right. Good or bad touch, that's on you.
I was so thrown off because when I looked at him first, I didn't realize that was his knuckle on his head. I thought he was wearing a small top hat.
He's very dapper.
Hello, my
handful
baby.
of sales,
Hello,
averaging $300. So going for a little bit above ratio, but you must be a massive Venom fan to be going after a 1 in 200.
And gold, but it's got gold on it.
It's gold.
It does
Yeah.
have gold on
It's
it.
gold.
Yeah, the silver 1 in 100 is not doing quite as well. That's
Silver just
about
doesn't do as
$100.
good as it's not because it's not gold.
Yeah, I guess it's not gold.
Yeah,
Both of them are just
People love
ripping
this
off
homage.
Spider-Man
People love
1,
this
you know?
homage.
Yeah, do you think if
We
this
don't
was
get this
actually
Hasn't been burned to the ground.
if it was actually the
it's gold.
Godfather to be selling for higher?
Yes.
That
Yes.
is homaging him.
Yes, the Todd Father, dude, the Todd Father always sells for some reason. Well, because there's enough people in Arizona. That's why.
I'm telling you, it's
That's
a
gold.
requirement to live here that you have to say the Pledge of Allegiance to him every morning and own at least one autographed book by him.
You have to get a monthly
McFarlane art
book.
on your driver's licenses.
Yeah.
And you have to at least have a display pinned to your wall of the McFarlane military toys too.
Isn't the state flag just Spawn?
It is. It's Spawn and Todd in a very unique embrace. That's.
Is it like the two guys on that Great Comics? Giving a little hug?
Good old Christian side hug together with thumbs up. That's what we got. That's our state flag. Todd and Spawn.
Just shoving buddies, and a little back-to-back action.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
All right, let's move on while we're lingering here.
Number 5.
Toot toot.
Jungle Comics, Dave making his way back in again. Except we're seeing a lot of the raw copies as they're moving through the books. That the train keeps rolling. A lot of as these raw copies start moving through, you're seeing prices roll up higher and higher for the raw copies. I think a lot of the slabs of some of the more knowable covers of Dave Stevens have tempered a little bit. But again, the raws are moving up. You had this was 50 or 60. You had a high of 142 for a raw Dave Stevens book. So
at auction, by the way.
At auction. So you got a lot of people raw chasing now, whether they're going to try to slab those and try to take advantage of that.
There was at least another that was
gap.
over $100 this week too.
Yeah.
After that sale.
Yeah. So it's still impressive. It's still going.
Yeah, I mean a 9.6 for 450 ain't bad either, especially depending on how nice your raw grades are. If you can get a raw and you can get a minimum of a 9.6, that's $450. So even if you spend 142.
No matter how you feel about the whole Dave Stevens thing or whatever, it's been very interesting to watch. An artist that's been around a long time, that a lot of people love, but was very reasonable in price. And watching this rise through all of the books and how it moves from book to book to book, and the prices, the slabs, and the raws, it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely interesting. But with that, let's see what we got next.
Number 4.
Number 4, we have Revival, number 1. We had this on the outside looking in last week because it got an option announcement right when we were filming. So there was no volumes yet to go on. But since that time, those volumes have hit. This thing has sold about 50 copies. Granted, there are other variants. There's a couple of other covers on this, and there is a second print at least. But this is $20 easy for the cover A, Jenny Frison. And that's mostly what I know this series for, that these were Jenny Frison covers.
Yeah, if you love Jenny Frison, pick up this whole run because it's still pretty cheap. And there's some great Jenny Frison covers because it's all Jenny Frison covers.
This was around the time there was a couple of these post-apocalyptic books, especially coming out of Image at the time.
Like Lazarus
Midwest.
And,
I think they had. Well, I can't remember
East West and
the kids. They had the kid one too, where it was posted on like they thought the world was ending, but it wasn't. Very similar. This is one where they come back to life on the second. They died on the first. And they try to figure out which ones were killed legal or if there's crimes being committed, something like that. It's going to be interesting because it has the potential. If you don't think of it as being, I mean, whatever, it's still just an option. But if it comes to fruition, it does have the potential to have a good transitional storyline to the comic books, as long as you don't think of it as a comic book story. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, and it's not your typical zombie story. It's nuanced. It's good.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're just kind of more crime based. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, it's fun. Hear about for a while.
Let's see where it goes. But all right, let's see what we got in our top 3.
Number 3.
Well, spoilers.
So yeah, we're gonna spoil. If you watch the second part, and we know that Gambit's dead, as we said today, and then I was told to shut my mouth. Well, he might not be dead at the con, and it was because I was talking about this. He could be one of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. This is XMen 185. Gambit is dead, but he's not dead because it's like the Lincoln to the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. 30+ sales.
Like being reborn.
$5. By the way, $5. It was generous for this price. You could get it for $1. $225 now. So make sure you're digging through some of those X-Men runs. There's a lot of other good stuff in here too while you're at it. You might as well pick this one up quickly because some of the other ones might hit also.
And I think he shows up at the end of the issue before, like 184. I think he's in the end of it. Cameo.
Yeah, hit 4, hit 5.
Cameo.
But either way, he was a good horse of death. I mean, there's some cool. I'm just excited, man. And I'll be honest, I'm really excited that the X-Men stuff is hitting because it's a franchise that I like. And you know, I think
unapologetically.
Yeah. Like I'm okay with this. So
and it's fun that it's this age of X-Men where most of these books are they're cheap.
All cheap. Yeah, they've always been cheap. Yeah. So like it's kind of fun that they're not hunting just first appearances on this, right? Like this technically isn't Gambit's first appearance.
No. It's story related. Like it's storyline related.
Which is kind of cool. So pick up the 1 before and the 3 after.
Yeah. And then we get books that come back around.
Number 2.
You've seen this one before. Been a while.
Number 2, we have X Factor number 6, the first appearance of Apocalypse. Going hard off the finale of X-Men 97, because I don't care what people say. Apocalypse shows up. The next story of season 2 is Apocalypse, all right? Suck it. It's Apocalypse. If you don't like it, go watch the show. 40+ sales, raw high, $100. CGC 9.8 newsstand sold for a whopping $825. Apocalypse. All right.
How cool was it that? Can we just talk about how cool it was that we got 2 versions of them too?
Yeah.
How cool was that? I mean, it was just. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it was really freaking cool that it's like a birthday gift early, even though I don't even know where my birthday is. But I'm just saying, if I had a birthday, it would be a birthday gift. Awesome.
Yeah, it was a fun finale. It was. I'm gonna miss this show.
Yeah.
But what do we got? We still got one more book left.
Wait. Did anybody else think Marvel Girls Pose? And that's kind of interesting.
Apocalypse.
Wait a second. Now I gotta go. What are we talking about now? What? She's doing like a belly flop sideways.
They're all making an X. They're all making an X.
It looks like Beast is coming off the top rope on top of Iceman, who's in a very precarious
position.
Yeah.
Looks like that pelvic region's headed someplace.
Give Beast some tough acting to acting.
All right.
I don't know. I think you're reading in too much. But much like the last book, he also shows up in the issue before, like right.
Yeah. Agreed.
Go grab your 5s too while you're at it.
Agreed.
That also was the book for a while.
Yeah, because people start talking about that. People will now. That was something we were talking about too, like how people are kind of interested in not just, like there's the new era where it's not just going after the first appearance anymore. It's going after storylines and cameo, like actual like true first or whatever you want to call it. Go ahead. Anyways, pick 5, pick 6.
Good stuff. What it is. Get them both if you can, as long as the price is right. But we got one
price
left.
Is right, Bob.
And our number 1.
Our top book.
Godzilla the 1 in 50 by Arthur Adams. I was told not to say anything bad about Godzilla or Arthur Adams. I said, why would I? I like both. I don't know what you're talking about. This is actually kind of cool. We saw this early on start to get a little bit of gain. So we watched it because it's cool. And then it's Godzilla and it's cool. And I am telling you, you're seeing more and more Godzilla. I don't think it's just the movies that have been doing pretty well. I think in general, people really, I think it's kind of like one of those things, kind of like in any part of nerdom, when you're like, you know what, I actually like that. And then somebody hears you saying, they'd be like, yeah, I actually like that too. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it just trickles down and it's okay to say that you like it. I'm just letting you tell, official is now hit CBSI top 10, Godzilla at number 1. So it is perfectly okay to say that you like Godzilla.
It's okay. An IDW 1 in 50 as well. So
that is also something too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not a lot of sales, probably like 7, right?
Yeah, there's about like 7. That's still for an IDW 1 in 50.
Yeah, 1 in 50.
How many
like
copies?
Yeah, agreed.
IDW is like, who's ordering 50?
But it's also
early pre-sales too. Like going in, this was not a surprise that this book would be expensive. The surprise is that it actually kind of held, because there were early pre-sales for this 1 in 50 around this price. But the fact that since release, it's still going for this price.
Well, it's also cool too to have like Arthur Adams doing a Godzilla cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I think
it has been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It kind of fits the whole thing. And if you're gonna do that, if it's not like it's not like it's a Scotty Young where he's doing every Marvel cover or whatever. You know what I mean? It's a guy who has a history. He's coming back, does it again. You make it something special like 1 in 50, and then you kind of hit multiple
and it's an anniversary. Like
anniversary. You hit and it's got that feel of the older, like even like the G-forces and stuff like that. It's got Godzilla, obviously a good character, and Arthur on it. So there you go. You got a bunch of wins.
I think they also made a wise choice in making this kind of have like a parchment vibe as opposed to just being like a sketch white cover. Like if this is a white cover, it would have been more bland. But I think just adding that little bit of a paper color, it makes this more interesting.
It is a one shot, by the way, guys. Just so you know.
And I mean, this IDW doing Godzilla in general is it was kind of the redheaded stepchild of the Godzilla stuff because everyone was doing the DC crossover thing with with that as well.
They still got it though. They still got the property.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We'll see how this holds because the current ones that are listed, they want a lot more than 150. I'm just saying. They want a lot. So we'll see what happens. But also, stick around. Not only for those books that we were teasing that didn't quite make this list that the boys will be covering on the outside looking in, but what else you guys doing tonight, Joe?
Yeah, talk a little Barbarella. There's some Sydney Sweeney news out there that is hitting the rumor mills. So we're gonna take a look at some Barbarella stuff, which has some interesting older books and magazines as well. So everyone's used to kind of seeing the Dynamite stuff now, but we'll go back to some of the older stuff and take a look.
But where is Jane Fonda? Where's Jane Fonda?
She'll show up. Don't worry. She'll show up.
All right. Well, she better. Can't have Barbarella and not have Jane Fonda. Just saying.
with the clear outfit over. Yeah.
The clear plastic outfit.
Look forward to getting us banned off of Twitch again.
All right. I'll get us banned off Twitch again. Make sure you also check out Matt and Kyle. I hear he has got a story to tell on Saturday night. So,
oh boy, that should be interesting.
It will
stuff. Bringing the heat.
All right, but other than that, I guess we'll see you all later. All right.